Today I'm going to be teaching you real quick how to quit any bad habit. Now, I personally do this for scrolling, but in reality, you can apply this to everything. It's not just scrolling. And that is, I'm not going to waste your time, to remove your access to the bad option. At any point in time throughout your day, you have the choice. Oh, do I do the good productive thing, edit this video I'm due on editing, or do I scroll on my phone? And at this point, we're so addicted to it that we do it unconsciously. But now here's the thing. Imagine you unconsciously have the instinct to go for your phone, but there's no Instagram on your phone. Imagine that. Imagine you have Opal or whatever other blocking app on your phone that blocks Safari. So you can't even open whatever search engine that you have on your cell phone and then start scrolling on that, because that's what I used to do, right? I'd not have Instagram or none of the social media apps on my phone, and I would just have them on my computer, and then respectively I would upload all my content from my computer. But then I would still just open up Safari, look up YouTube, and scroll anyway on my phone. So it didn't make a difference. The point is that you need to add as many conscious steps as possible to you doing the bad thing as you can. Because the more steps there are, the more likely it is that as you unconsciously go through the process of, oh, I want to scroll, so I need to open the app, I need to disable the app block, and then I need to open Safari, and then I need to look up youtube.com, and then I need to start scrolling on youtube.com. And let's say you always log out, right? So then you also need to sign in and then scroll on youtube.com. You see how that's like 6 or 7 steps? I don't know how many that was. The more steps you have that are in between you and doing the bad habit, the more likely it is that you will just stop unconsciously autopiloting to what's comfortable, and instead consciously stopping yourself and then doing instead the late gratification productive activity that you should be doing. And fun fact, the more steps you add in, that technically makes your scrolling and your dopamine addictions that you have to whatever it is, whether it's porn, video games, watching content, or scrolling, or just straight up procrastinating, doing anything else but what you should be doing, which you know you should be doing. That's why you're even clicking on this video, because you want a resource to help you how to stop doing what you shouldn't be doing and instead focus on what you should be doing, which you know. The more you're turning the bad habit into a delayed gratification thing. I say that, but it's technically still bad for you. What I mean is that the more steps you add in the way, the more resistance there is to doing it, meaning then there's literally less resistance to just do what you should be doing, which again, you know what you should be doing. And then you end up doing that anyway, because at this point, if it's so cancer AIDS to start scrolling, if it's so cancer AIDS to start drinking alcohol, if it's so cancer AIDS to start smoking weed, if it's so cancer AIDS to jerk anything, if it's too cancer AIDS to do any bad habit, and it's less cancer AIDS to just work, then try to guess what you're gonna end up doing, working. Anyway, so other than that, the other tip, but you should honestly still know this, and this is like a predecessor tip to this one, and it's part of it, the tip of adding as many steps as possible to break you free from the trance and make you conscious of whatever bad decision you're making, is to straight up delete all the social media apps. If you are not a content creator, if you are not a person that posts, if you are not the type of person that makes stuff, like if you're not a creator, then you have no business being on these platforms, especially the social media ones. It's one thing if you're like on Webtoon, and let's say you're not a Webtoon creator, but you like reading the stories and they inspire you, and then you create other stuff. Or maybe you don't create and you just read the Webtoon stories. I know people say,
oh, that's a not good for you, waste of time activity.
But I don't believe in that. I believe that stories make us connect a lot more with messages than informational books do. So by all means, go ahead and do that. Consume media that tells stories. But if you don't post on Instagram, for example, then don't have Instagram on your phone. If you don't post on Twitter, don't have Twitter on your X on your phone. If you don't have whatever social media app, like if you don't post on it, then don't have it on your phone. Why are you having it on your phone? You know that's objectively just an incipit, an attraction, an option that you have other than just doing the work. Whatever social media you have on your phone. So just delete them. What I do, for example, is I have Instagram only on my phone when I'm uploading. So I download Instagram, I upload, and then I scroll a bit. I realize, oh, I scrolled. And then I delete the app. That's what it should be. You should only have it on when you do the creation. Even if you are a creator, stop coping, or do it on your computer. Straight up do it on your computer. And then the good thing about your computer is that on your computer, there's way more apps and plugins and Chrome extensions or Opera extensions, whatever it is that you have, that then block certain parts of social media. Like for example, I have Unhook on YouTube, right? And that just blocks all my YouTube. So my YouTube doesn't have anything. There's no feed. I can't scroll on it. I need to intentionally look up whatever it is that I'm looking up to watch YouTube. Same thing with Instagram. You can do the exact same thing. Block the Reels tab, block the search tab, block the Explore tab, everything. So honestly, Either just upload everything on your computer, or if you really need your phone for it because you prefer the UI of the phone for uploading. For example, I don't like uploading reels on my computer. It keeps bugging. I don't know why it doesn't let me. So I then just do it on my phone. You know, I install the app on my phone, I upload the reel, delete Instagram after I notice, oh crap, I've been scrolling a bit. And you know what's funny? You don't notice that you scroll. You don't notice this stuff. Like I said, all the bad habits are unconscious because you have so many whys and reasons for living and motivations, but then you still end up doing the bad things. Why is that? It's because throughout the day, you have so many moments where you are not consciously living, where you are on autopilot. And those are the moments where you end up doing the bad habits. So add as many steps of resistance as possible to doing the bad habit. Make it so that doing the good thing that you need to do, the productive thing, has as little resistance to it as possible, to the point where that becomes the more instant gratification, and the more delayed gratification is then doing the bad thing for you. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye.